Hello all, welcoming you to one more session in Tableau. So we just got an understanding how we need to understand theoretically Tableau. So we looked into use cases and we looked into what exactly data visualization means and what are the things that we need to take care when we have to perform some data visualization and how Tableau can serve as a very interesting data visualization tools. We have seen all of these things theoretically, but it's time for us to understand everything in practically, basically. So if you have to do everything in practice, what we need first of all is the environment. So the environment is what I'm going to show you today, and I'm just going to explain you what are the components that is associated with the environment. So let's get started. So let us just go to our environment first of all. So before that, I just wanted to tell you few informations. As you know, the Tableau product bundle is having a lot of things like the suite. If you take it, it has a prep builder and it has an online version and it has a desktop version and also it has a server, correct? What I'm right now showing you is basically the Tableau desktop version, and you would get the same kind of environment in your online version also. And yeah, most of the things you can actually follow it very easily if you follow the desktop one. And one more point that I need to tell you all is that Tableau is a licensed software, as you're very much aware of it, but Tableau provides an opportunity for the students and the teachers to get a licensed version by communicating with them, and you need to supply the required documents, and they in turn is going to provide you the license. So for students, there is a separate category. You need to send a specific email to the Tableau team, and then they will cross verify it. And after which, if it is required, they are going to send you some kind of uh, they might ask you some kind of details, and if you would give that, then your licensing will be done. So similarly for teachers also, this licensing is available. And once you get the license, you can actually have your desktop version. So this is the version which I'm showing you. Okay. Or otherwise, for learning purpose, if you wanted to make use of Tableau, yes, you can very well go ahead and then download the version, which is a trial version, and then you can try it for 14 days. And that's absolutely free, and you will get all of the features available with you. And one more thing that you can do is, like, if you are a student and if you just wanted to work with Tableau's some more time, Tableau also provides you an opportunity to get extended with the trial license as well. So again, there is a kind of email communication that you need to make up, and once they are satisfied with the reasoning that you're giving it, then they are going to give you the extension of your license, maybe another 5 days or 10 days, like that also can be done. So this is about the licensing related to Tableau. And you can make use of yeah, any of these versions. Okay. Now once the download is a very straightforward process. Once you have downloaded, there is nothing much you have to customize the things with when you have to perform the installation. So just go ahead and follow the instructions which has been given, and that will complete the installation for you without any problem. All right. So once the installation is completed, if you have your desktop version, this is the screen that you're going to see. Okay. So this actually consists of a lot of things basically. So you do have a menu, and then it has a toolbar, and then it has a data pane, and then it is having a card and a shelves, and also some sheets are there. Okay. So these are all condensed together. This is what you call it as your Tableau's workspace. Okay. So now let us get let us get to know each of these things and what each of these things. First thing is your workspace area. So this complete thing is what you call it as a workspace area. And this workspace area at the top most, what you see here, right? The Tableau book 5 is there, right? This is what you call it as a workbook name. So this is the name of my workbook. The workbook name is basically book 5. And every workbook is going to consist of maybe a sheet would be there, or it is going to have a dashboard, or it is going to have a story. So all of these things, what is the meaning of worksheet, dashboard, story, we will get to know as we progress through the course. Clear? So this is first thing that you need to know. The topmost one is going to tell you the workbook name, followed by there are something called as a cards and shelves. So generally, what you can do with cards and shelves means you can actually drag the fields to the card space. Okay. And just for an example, let me just do not worry, if you do not understand what I'm trying to do right now, because this is something which we will be discussing in the next session, where you have to connect your data and etc things. Okay. So you don't have to worry about it. Just to show you what is the meaning of a card and shells, I'm just putting one data set into the into my workbook, so that I can show you what exactly is the meaning of cards and shells. Okay, so this is the data set which I have put right now. So the data set name is cards. So as you can see, it is processing and executing the query. Once it has executed the query, you will be getting your data set inside. Okay. So once that is there, I'll let you know what is the meaning of your cards and shelves. Okay, you can actually drag some of the fields to your cards, and shelves you can actually add data to the view. Okay, so let that get loaded. In the meantime, I'm just going to explain you about the toolbar. Okay, so which is called as a toolbar. This is something which you could have definitely seen in your any kind of software, even in your Microsoft Office, Word, or for all these softwares, you could have definitely come across something like a toolbar. Correct? So the toolbar will actually will try to give you access to the commands and analysis and the navigation tools. So for all these things, these toolbars are going to be useful. So now let us see what are the things which is there in your toolbar. Okay, so okay, so this part I will explain you later. Okay, so let me just go to the workspace place. Okay, and where I'm going to talk a little bit on the toolbars. Okay, so now you have this one, right? So this is what you call it as a toolbar. So you can actually hide or display this toolbar as and when required. So you can go to your window. This show toolbar is there, right? If you uncheck it, then this toolbar is going to go, as you can see here. So window, then show toolbar, you can hide or do not hide it. Okay. So this toolbar is having a lot of things. Let us just explore what each of these means. The first one, as you can see here, this is the symbol for your Tableau. So this is what you call it as a Tableau's icon. So generally this will take you to the starting page. So this is what is your starting page. So it will take you to the starting page when you click on this one. So this is Tableau's icon. And this is something which is very common. Most of you could have used it in most of the softwares. You could have come across these two things. One is undo and this one is redo. So you know what is the meaning of undo, right? You just have to, it will just reverse you to the most recent action which is in the workbook. Okay, and you can do undo unlimited number of times you can do the undos. And similarly, redo, it is going to repeat the last action you reversed with the undo button. Okay, and also you can do the redo also any number of times. It is unlimited. And this is the button also which you could have seen very often in your Microsoft Office or PowerPoint. This is something which you will be making use of in order to save. Okay, and if you wanted to make a save as workspaces, you can make use of this. Similar option is available here also. You can actually go to file, save and save as. That also could be done. And the next one, this is actually whenever you wanted to connect your data source. Suppose you wanted to connect the pane where you can create a new connection, or you wanted to open a saved connection. For all these things, this is useful. As the symbol shows, it is a database connectivity. Okay, so this is a specific, not specific to only RDBMS or something. This is something which denotes data. So the data could be in any form. It may be in your text form, or it could be in your Excel form. We do not know. So this, any data source, if you wanted to connect it, you can make use of this button. Okay. And this one is basically called as a pass auto updates. This will control whether Tableau update the view when changes are made. Okay. So you can actually make use of this drop down menu is there, right? To automatically you can update the entire sheet. Okay. So for that, this is useful. And this one is, as you know, it is going to be a run update. So what this is going to do means it is going to run a manual query of the data to update the view with changes, whatever changes you are making it. Whenever an automatic update is turned off, then you could probably do this. That will take care of the updation. Okay. And this is, as it is shown very clearly, if you wanted to add a new worksheet, or if you wanted to add a new dashboard or new story, you can make use of this pane. And then this one, two windows is shown, right? This is basically a duplicate. So that is going to create a new worksheet which is containing the same view as the current sheet. If you have a sheet with one table which is connected, like for example, customer is the table which you have, and you wanted to duplicate the same thing, you can make use of this one. And the next one, this is actually clearing. So this will clear the current worksheet. So you can use the drop down menu to specify which part of the view needs to be cleared. Okay. And this one is basically a swapping. So what this would do is it is going to move the fields on the row to the column if you wanted to do it, or from the column to the row if you wanted to move it. You can do that by making use of this swapping. And then these two buttons are sorting ascending and sorting descending. So sort descending, which will apply a sort in ascending order of a selected field based on the measures. Okay. Similarly, descending is also going to be used. And then what we have is these summation also would be there. And yeah, so this one is basically a highlighter. So this highlighter is going to turn on the highlighting for the selected sheet. So you can actually do that. So either if you wanted to highlight all the fields, you can select it, or if you wanted to highlight the dates and the times, you can do it. And if you want to disable the workbook highlighting, that is also possible. And this one is basically a grouping of members. So this will allow you to create a group by combining the selected values. In case if multiple dimensions are selected, then you can make use of this drop down option is there, right? So whether that particular group is going to be for a specific dimension or not, you can mention it using this one. And then you have this T one, right? So which is called as a show mark labels. So this one is going to switch between the showing and the hiding mark labels for the current data set. And this one is basically a fixing access. So this will switch between a locked access between that only shows a specific range. Okay. And yeah, that's all we have. And this one, yeah, you can actually change this one standard and then fit width. And also you can just specify fit height. So you can make use of any of these things. Okay. And this is show or hide cards is there. So this fit will specify how the view should be sized within the window. Okay. So that's the way. And yeah, this one is show or hiding the cards. So you can actually select specific cards. If you wanted to hide it, just select columns, so the columns is gone. So for doing all those things, this is useful. Okay, so that's one more thing that you need to know. And this one is basically a presentation mode, so which is going to switch between the showing and hiding. Okay, and yeah, that's all we have. This is your sharing your workspace. This button is for your sharing your workspace. Okay, and when you are presenting it, you can present it in the form of PPT and PDF, and then cross tab, any kind of things, image like that, um, you can actually present it. So that's the second part that I wanted to explain it to you. The first one was your workspace workbook name, and this one is your toolbar. And then cards and shells, these are your cards and shells. Okay, and then we have a sidebar. Okay, so you can have your sidebar. So as you can see here, this is your sidebar. So in your sidebar, what you have is data and analytics is there, correct? So whenever you want to connect to a data, you can actually make use of this one. Okay, and analytics is going to show you how these I mean, you can, if you wanted to edit your worksheet or something like that, if you wanted to do, then this analytics pane would be useful. Okay, and different panes are visible depending upon the what you're going to do in the view. So suppose if you are doing a data analytics, this is going to be different, and if it is story, this is going to be different. Okay, and you can make use of this one if you wanted to hide the sidebar in the Tableau desktop. Okay, and click on it, you will get the sidebar on the Tableau's desktop. Okay, and then we have a status bar. So this is what you call it as a status bar. Okay, so this is just located at the bottom of your workspace, right? This is what you call it as a space bar, and this will have descriptions of menu items, like it is having something called as a data source. Okay, and also it is having something called as a sheet. Okay, and yeah, so this is what you call it as a status bar information. So window, if you just uncheck to show status bar, you couldn't see this one, right? I just wanted to show that. See here, so this is what is your status bar. Just understand this very clearly. Okay, so now what you have here is, I mean, this is what you call it as a status bar information. And here what you are seeing, see here, and yeah, so these are certain things that you need to be knowing with your status bar. And then you have your data source, and then you have your sheets also. Okay, so these are certain things which you will understand when we start working with the space completely. Okay, so this is just to give you an idea on what are the things that is available in your workspace. So to be very clear, so these are the things that you need to be aware of to start working with your Tableau workbook. Okay, so next, okay, now we got an understanding of how does a Tableau workbook is going to look. Okay, so once this is known to you, the next step is obviously working with the data. So how do you connect your data, and what are the things that you can do with your data is going to be the next discussion. Hope you got an idea on the different types of things that we have in our workbook, and everything comes by practice. And also, like, once you explore it, you learn more. Whatever I just showed you is just a basic demo of how the workbook is going to be. So once you start exploring each and everything, you're going to get a better understanding on the platform. So that is very much essential if we have to start working with the platform in a very nice manner. I hope you got a complete idea about your Tableau's workbook, how you have to work with your Tableau's workbook. So that's all I have for this session. See you in the next session on how do you connect your data and how you're going to work with your data. So that's all I have for this session. Thank you.